This is follow up to my question last time on Leviathan. Can you talk about the dragon? Okay, we know nothing except what we have. Okay, yeah, the dragon. Depending on where the reference is coming from, if you're coming from the books of Revelation, when it's dealing with the beast and so forth, the word dragon is really talking about the Draconians from Draco or Draco, which are the species of reptilians known as the Marid, okay? The species of Marid or the reptilians from the Draco or Draco constellation. If you look at the image or the symbol of the constellation of Draco or Draco, Draconian, dragon, Draconian, because it's with K or C, you see it looks like a serpent, right? That's why the interpretation of like reptilians, a reptile is, yeah, there are different forms of reptilians, and these reptilians are the ones that create the chaos, and they're tying into the beings. Like in the scriptures, they call them, you know, as I said before, they call them Anakites, they call them Anunnaki, they call them in the Islamic, in the Quran, they talk about Iblis and they talk about Shakar, and they talk about this Iblis was Shakar's son. Okay, so these Draconians, these dragon race, are a species of reptilians that go to different places and try and take over and create chaos, and want to take over and rule. And Tarnush was their leader, and today they have seed on the planet. And you know, this is what people are saying when they see, you know, the eyes, they see them shape shifting. They're in society, they're controlling, they're part of the Luciferian conspiracy, right? Because Lucifer is talking about the Shakar and Lil, Nana, and these beings that they've been running this planet and had dominion over this planet for the last 6,000 years by way of putting people in place, the Adamites, and then ruling and controlling them. And it's through the bloodlines, and they tend to have the RH negative bloodlines, okay? Obviously, today, there's a lot of mixtures between people in terms of, you know, blood types, because you got A, B, O, A, B, then you got the negative factor, or the RH, which the RH kind of ties into the rhesus monkey. But because when they were doing the experiments on blood types, these are the cold-blooded reptilians that have no soul, and they basically do the bidding of these Draconian that were eating, or flesh eaters, that were eating the Pleiadians, and the Pleiadians struck a deal with them to say, stop eating us, we can create a substitute for you. And then they went about grafting the Adamites. Okay, so when you're saying about the trying to see the question again. Oh, there you go. We're talking about, can you talk about the dragon, the Draconian or dragon? That's what we're talking about. But of course, you also have the year of the dragon, which ties into, you know, like in the beast, in the Revelation, where the word, you hear the term, Michael and his angels fought the dragon and his angels, and then they were defeated and they were cast down here. And it tells you, like, read the whole of Revelation 12:7, and read the whole of the Revelations, because it goes through the whole story. By the time you get to like Revelation 18, right, read from 18 where it's talking about come out of Babylon, come out of my people. But when we say Babylon, Bab Elion, Bab El, this is tying back to when you're saying that the Anunnaki, Bab El or Elion or Babel, the doorway to El, or dealing with Babel, right? Tying into, the confusion that is caused by way of these beings. So it's saying New Babylon, right? Not the old Babylon, because you had many empires that have been destroyed. 2121. That's the time right now. So that's like 9-9. We're gonna be rounding off in 9 minutes. But that bloodline, they have offspring on the planet, and they're the ones that have been ruling and were given dominion over the planet for the last 6,000 years, which ended in the year 2000. So now they're in turmoil. Their world is coming down. The Babylon the Great has fallen. Yeah, go back and read the whole of Revelations, and it's falling before our eyes. This is the last empire. Yeah, when you say vampire, you're really saying V empire. Yeah, this V is representing these beings from, like I said, right? You're dealing with Vulcan beings, or dealing with these reptilian beings. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. You got, like, in the book of Revelations, you got China that is represented by the dragon, Russia is represented by the bear, and America is represented by the eagle. But that eagle is really what they stole from ancient Egypt, because you look at the symbology on, like, the dollar bill and on the money, it's all about ancient Egypt, because that eagle is really coming from the phoenix. What does a phoenix represent? It represents the renewal, right? So that's what's happening right now. Babylon the Great is falling. A new world is coming. They're calling it New World Order. But the new world is the renewal of our story, okay? So one is falling, and the phoenix represent a renewal coming from the ashes, and a renewal. And this is what's taking place on the planet right now, where the last 6 of the 6-6, right, when you're dealing with the year 2000, was the end of the last 6,000 years, right? Because you got 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000 gives you 24,000, which adds up to a 6. But within the last 6,000, yeah, if you had a cake and you cut it, you know, put a cross in the middle of it, so you have 4 quarters, right? The last quarter, if you break down into 3, you have 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, giving you the last 6,000 of the moon cycle, which ended in the year 2000, where the end of the devil's rule is up. But most people are still caught up in the residual of it dying. It doesn't go boom overnight. It's going to take time. But you're supposed to be raising your vibration, raising your consciousness, so that you're not caught up in its destruction. You see? So this is what Wu-Sabat is here to do, to help you raise your vibration, raise your consciousness, so that you know what to do and you're not caught up. Like it says, Revelation 18:2, or read the whole of Revelations and read 18. It tells you, read 21. It talks about the fight and the devil fighting and the 2 sides. You got 9 ether, 6 ether. Michael, 9 ether, green light. 6 ether, dealing with fire worship, dealing with the old ways of the lies, you know, the religious world relying on the jinns, the jinn religion, the jinn, because the J and the G are interchangeable, because the J spells jinns, J-I-N-N-S, which is dealing with a demonic spirit, as is explained in Arabic in the Quran. That jinn is a spirit. The spirit force is Leviathan. Okay, so this spirit of jinn, not a coincidence that when you say jinn, as in when you drink a drink, as in the, you know, spirit, you get drunk, you start to act in a certain way, you're intoxicated, everything ties in. So we're seeing the fall of the dragon and his minions and his angels, and but it's got to get worse before it gets better. So it's about preparing, knowing what to do, and not get caught up in the lower vibration, which is going to the hell, right? Hell is a place as well as a state of mind. You create your own reality, and you create the hell you're in, and you can change your mind and change your reality by putting 9 ether in your heart, in your intentions, and transform yourself so that you can make it through this chaos that's happening and going to happen as it comes down, as it fades. Just Google the Empire and you see there's a great documentary to watch called The Family, if you can find it on Netflix, and you will see certain things play out.